Peace and blessings of God be on you. Today we're going to do question number 8. How do you logically explain the presence of so many religions in the world? Now, a careful look at the original teachings of all the major religions reveals that their original books present the same fundamental teachings, although the details may differ. They all appear to be from the same source, although the number of teachings and their intricacies seem to be increasing as we progress in time. So a natural question arises as to why there are so many religions and not just one, and why there are differences in detail and complexity, even though they all seem to share the same fundamental beliefs and practices. Here's a logical explanation of this phenomenon. There is no doubt that mankind has undergone evolution. Note that I am talking about the evolution within human species and not the Darwinian concept of evolution, which talks about one species evolving from another. So within human species, there is enough evidence to believe that there was a time when human beings were much less developed mentally than they were at a later time of history. Now, for a perfectly wise creator, it makes sense to reveal only that many teachings that can be handled by people of that era. Just as it makes little sense to try to teach very complicated things to a child, like complex mathematical formulas, even if they be correct and useful. Similarly, it makes little sense to think that a perfect creator would reveal such teachings for people which are too much for them to understand. After all, the whole purpose of religious teachings is to help mankind to know what the Creator wants them to do. So what is the point of revealing things to them which are beyond their understandings? Now, at some point of time, there was the first prophet on this earth. And what I mean by this earth is this earth after its latest growth from a black hole. Now, I will say more about that in question 25. Right now, I'll just briefly say that it has been proven without doubt that Earth evolves from a black hole and then goes back into the black hole, and the process goes on and on and on. It's a non-ending process. And as I said, I'll explain more of that in question 25. So right now, consider the current cycle of the Earth after its emergence from the black hole. And at some point of time, the human species got developed enough that they were capable of receiving revelation from God. And at that point, the first prophet of our history was chosen. And this happened about 6,000 years ago. Study of history also reveals that mankind was still undergoing mental evolution at that time. So whatever was taught to the first prophet, although adequate for people of his time, might have needed expansions at a later time when mankind was more developed. But right now, let's just focus on the fact that whatever was revealed to the first prophet was adequate for people of his time. Now, as time progresses, all things decay. Talks get forgotten. Everything fades. The same happens with religions in the sense that after a few decades, when the original person to whom the religion was revealed by God dies, and so do his immediate companions. And we are left with people who have learned religions indirectly. That is a time when the decay process begins. With passing generations, it's natural that the true understanding of the original teachings of the first prophet kept declining, particularly because the teachings of that prophet were not even put in writing while he was still alive. A time came when this deterioration became so pronounced that a completely different set of beliefs and actions started getting attributed to the name of that religion than was taught by the founder of that religion. So what should the creator do after a religion has decayed in this manner, that its original teaching has been practically lost? The logical answer is the creator would then send another prophet who would remind mankind of the original teachings of the first prophet. Moreover, if by this time the mental evolution of humanity has advanced a step, then it makes sense that the second prophet should be revealed a finer version of the first religion. And by a finer version, I mean finer in details, since we agree that the fundamentals remain the same. The people who believed in the truth of this second prophet came to be known by a new name. And so the religion of those people also acquired a new name in order to distinguish them from those people who rejected the second prophet. And that was absolutely necessary, because by the time the second prophet came, the teachings of the first prophet had been distorted so much that although the name of his religion existed, the message had completely changed. And so when that message was revived, it had to be called by a new name, because otherwise there would have been confusion that whom are we referring to, the believers in the second prophet or the rejectors of the second prophet, but still claiming to be believing in the first prophet. So therefore, in order to avoid that confusion, it was necessary that the believers of the second prophet should give a new name to their religion, even though it was the same religion as brought by the first one. So we see that although these new people believe in essentially the same message as was brought by the first prophet, a new name is born for that religion at the time of the second prophet. Now, if we repeat this process several times, that religions start with a prophet, and then the religious message gets lost with time, and then a new messenger is sent with the same fundamental message as the first one or the previous one. So new religions seem to be coming in the world at various periods of history, but they are essentially the same. And this is one main reason why we find so many major religions in the world, despite the fact that they're all the same at their roots. Another reason is that centuries ago, there were no means of communication between many parts of the world. So if people lived in different parts of the world at any such time, it makes sense that different prophets should appear in different parts of the world, even at the same times. And hence, even if the same message was revealed to them, it came to be known by different names because of the difference in local languages and terminology. Hence, I've logically proven that there are very good reasons for different religions to be present in this world, even if they originated from the same source, which is God, and carry the same fundamental message. That finishes question number 8. Next time we will do question number 9, which says that what is the logical proof of the fact that there is only one creator? God bless you.